once you graduated, at that point, were you still hell bent on becoming a team guy? Was that always
100%?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it was. Looking back, like the two things don't match up, right?
Yeah, pretty conflicting. Yeah. Sure. Fucking walking contradiction.
Yeah.
Well, so you walk into a recruiter, where you're like, motherfucker, you got your work cut out for you.
I walked into this is why I wanted to be a SEAL, but I was terrified of Hayes grade and underway.
Yeah.
That was because I grew up in San Diego. I knew all-American wrestlers and shit. Nobody made it.
Yeah.
And everybody was scraping barnacles in the Navy. And so I was like real scared, real terrified of that.
Yeah.
So I went into the Marine recruiter first. I was like, they'll give me a gun and let me Charlie Mike. And he's like, dude, you're on probation, man. And he's like, you have pending court cases. And I was like, oh, that's a thing? We can't just like sweep that under the rug? And that's when I have this moment where I go, oh, this is like a real life. I have to take care of this. Yeah. So I ended up having to get a lawyer, get a judge and I went to jail for 4 months in Santa Cruz County right when I graduated to commute my probation. He's like 180 days in jail. I was like, okay. But I ended up doing 120. So I served.
Shit.
Yeah.
How was that?
Man, dude, I'll tell you what.
I mean, it's county jail, right?
Which is actually kind of, I didn't see the sun for 4 months because you don't get yard time and stuff. And we were just lockdown facility. So it's sad, man, what drugs and alcohol and amphetamines specifically do to people's lives. And then I was having to, small story in there, I had to ask for a volunteer. And I go, okay, because if you volunteer, then the guards would let you go eat in their chow hall, and they give you like a hamburger or something real. So I was always volunteering. And we go in and I have to clean this guy, had painted shit all over this cell. Yeah. And he's yelling about how gangster he is. He stole a car and this and that. And the guy I'm working with is just getting pissed because he's going to have to clean it with me. And he looks at the guy and bangs on the glass. He goes, hey, motherfucker, Pooh Payton ain't gangster. I remember thinking, I'm like, man, I've made some mistakes in what am I doing here, man?
Fuck, man. I mean, was it scary being in there in terms of like people fucking with you? Or
it was fine. Man, it's like anywhere else. As long as you just set the tone and you're good. We had a couple little issues, but everybody was kind of on their own program. If you get on that good program, I was just doing push-ups and dips and just kind of like, and I volunteered to work for the jail. So I was gone 8 hours in the day doing jail laundry. Yeah. And I could just write and read and kind of be by myself. It was actually right when Obama got, so you were getting out right at that same time. I remember sitting there when it happened. I was in jail laundry that day he got elected.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn. Man, that's wild. So, all right. So you spend 4 months in jail. Once you got out, then did you go back to the Marine recruiter?
I went right back to the Marine officer recruiter. I don't know why. I was shooting for the stars. And they said, okay, we got to take pictures of your tattoos. And I didn't have my arms and stuff. Really, I had a little bit on the shoulders, but my whole back and some of my legs. And they took pictures and they sent it up to some guy and he came back and he was like,
no shit.
Nope. Not only no, you can't, we won't even take you into any Marine Corps. They put me on a hold for nationwide. I couldn't even enlist. So that's
so dumb.
I was like, oh, okay, well that Army will take me. I'll go Army or some special program. And they did a background check on me and they said, no way, you can't even enlist. That's when I was like, oh shit, what the fuck am I gonna do? Started kind of seeing the French Foreign Legion. That's where that started to come on my radar. But I had student loans with my mom, had co-signed. I couldn't just pop chalks. So I licked my wounds for about a day, and then that higher consciousness or whatever came into me and said, go to the Navy recruiter, write down what you have. And it wasn't anything bad. All the dispositions were clear. It was just misdemeanors, but it was a lot of them. And I strategically, kind of and the guy said, we can work with this, but you can be a SEAL if you pass all the shit, or turd wrangler. There's no like in between jobs you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's fucking wild. Well, so, I mean, as a 7-year-old, the SEAL teams being kind of your big dream, why did that end up being the last choice once you got
fear?
Yeah.
Fear. Yeah. I didn't think I could make it, man. Cause the running and stuff, I'm not a good runner. And coming out of jail, man, I was like 230, man. And so I tried to do a run and I couldn't even make a half mile.
Yeah. And
I was like, man, this is going to be a mountain to climb up. And I was just really scared that I wasn't going to fucking make it. I knew it was hard as shit. Yeah. And it was.
Yeah, I know it. All right, so you go to the Navy. They end up taking you.
Yeah. But it was not just like, hey, come in. I had to get a lot of waivers. And so I started in this. The MEPS was stressful, to say the least. I had a lot of holes in my game. Strategic answers, not saying lie, but strategic answering. And then I could start taking that PST, getting racked on that. So I took it every week, man, for 9 months. I would go down to and then I started training at the Naval Amphibious Base with the boat crew there, with the retired lieutenant commander, and then an active duty senior chief. And that was massive, you know, running in the mountain. I was puking every day, but I lost 40 pounds in like 6 weeks, just crushing it. And I just stayed going every day. And then my scores started to get elevated. And the next thing I know, I'm like racked at the top. And 9 months later, I get my contract.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
How old are you at this time?
So I'm 23. So I was turned 24, like pretty much the day they gave me my SEAL Challenge contract to go to boot camp on that SEAL contract.
So you go in. At that time, was boot camp all SEAL candidates in your class?
That was, yeah. So exactly, we had 100 guys that were just all on that SEAL Challenge contract.
I mean, what was that like? Because when I came in, it wasn't that way. It was like there were of every division there was, you know, a handful of people that you know that had their SEAL contracts you know, mixed in with everybody else. So it was like most of the fucking division that you were with were going to do, you know, fucking who knows what. So obviously that's all you have to compare it to. But what was that like being in a group of all dudes going? I mean, was it?
Man, it was great.
Yeah.
We had a good group. Just to kind of give it, 9 guys made it out of that 100.
Yeah.
And 5 of those guys are still operating at the tip of the spear.
No shit.
Right now.
That's cool.
So that was like, I think we had a particularly good group. And I was still friends with all those guys today. And I was grateful. But those petty officers, because they were just fleet guys, they beat the shit out of us, man. They're like, we got all these guys. They some of the worst beatings I ever got were in that. Yeah, for
That's
real.
Interesting.
Yeah, they didn't know the governor. They didn't know how much they should be pushing it, I think.
That's a trip. I didn't even think about that because, I mean, when I was going through, it was a fucking joke, you know, because
But it was great because they trained us.
Yeah.
So we were swimming every morning. We were actually working out pretty hard.